Good evening, everyone. This is your news recap, your nightly news podcast on all the news that I come across throughout the day, giving you my take as somebody who aspires to be a politician in the near future. Hopefully, all you guys are doing wonderful. Hopefully, all you guys are doing well. This is the first episode on the new laptop, so hopefully everything's doing all right. Looking at the camera, it looks a little dark. So hopefully that's just me, and hopefully that's not the actual camera. If it is, I'll figure it out after this episode or something. But as for that, hopefully all you guys are doing well. Just a reminder, there will be no episode tomorrow. I will be going to a 49er Broncos game, which is really exciting. So I'm hyped for that. But yeah, with that being said, hopefully all you guys are doing well. If you're new here, subscribe. That would be really epic. And let's get into the news. Moving on into the Trump administration segment, as we do, the first topic we have today is Trump has signed an order to conduct law enforcement in foreign countries. Trump has secretly signed an order directing the military to take action against drug cartels and other criminal groups in Latin America, according to the New York Times. The report confirms statements from Marco Rubio who signaled this would be the case. Rubio said on Thursday, it allows us to target what they are operating and to use other elements of American power, intelligence agencies, the Department of Defense, whatever, to target these groups if we have an opportunity to do it. We have to start treating them as armed terrorist organizations and not simply drug dealing organizations. This is wild. I don't think any of us want drugs in our countries, but the United States should not, and I mean should not, be going into another country against its will to prevent that. No one wants drugs on the streets. I mean, really, none of us want that. That is a horrible thing. But Mexico has said many times that they will not approve of this, and they do not want the United States of America to come into their territory and deal with the cartels. They are against it, and we should not be going into their country. That would be not only directly against their sovereignty as a nation, but honestly a threat of war. And I guarantee you it would start a war if Trump tried to go into Mexico without Mexico's approval. That is a problem. That should simply not be allowed, genuinely. In other news, Trump plans to meet Putin in Alaska. Trump has announced that he will be meeting with Putin next Friday in Alaska to discuss Ukraine. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said, "The highly anticipated meeting between myself as President of the United States of America and President Vladimir Putin of Russia will take place next Friday, August 15th, 2025, in the great state of Alaska. Further details to follow. Thank you for your attention to this matter." This is good news, as the war in Ukraine honestly needs to stop. But I don't think Trump is going to be the one to get it done. As much as, I would like this war to end, Trump's not going to do it. It's been 8 months already. He has had multiple talks and nothing has happened. Genuinely nothing. Unfortunately, I also don't see this done without Ukraine losing land. And I don't think they're going to do that. But also, I think that's dumb in itself. Russia, who is supposed to be the second strongest country in the world, by the way, has essentially failed to make any large or long-standing push into Ukraine, and overall has really struggled to fight them. I mean, you can see any clip of the war on YouTube or Instagram or whatever to show you that. I mean, it is essentially being broadcasted all over the internet. I mean, Russia simply has not won this war at all. Sure, they have, control over the Donbass regions and, a few other regions within Ukraine, but outside of those being predominantly Russian areas and, them being Ukrainian, Russia hasn't really done anything. Really, they have not done shit to deserve winning this war, at least in my opinion. Granted, Ukraine hasn't won this war either. Neither of countries have won the war. But Russia does not deserve to just have land given to them for a war where they have proven that they are probably not the second strongest country in the world. Moving on, Trump wants UCLA to pay Trump wants UCLA to pay $1 billion to get research funding. Sorry. The Trump administration has proposed a $1 billion settlement with UCLA amid their battle for federal funding. University President James B. Milken said that the Department of Justice sent a documentation on the settlement and it was being reviewed by the school. This came after Trump suspended $584 million in the federal grants for the school, but the school believes this is unreasonable. Milken, the school's president, said, "As a public university, we are the stewards of taxpayer resources, and a payment of this scale would completely devastate our country's greatest public university system, as well as inflict great harm on our students and all Californians." This entire situation is wild. There is no way UCLA should have to pay $1 billion for funding they were just going to get beforehand. Not to mention, it's stupid. Genuinely, it is. I mean, you're charging a school double for the funding that they get in return. That's crazy. Genuinely, it really is. This is a useless attack on colleges' rights that should be prevented and not allowed, simply. I mean, Trump shouldn't just be able to demand money from schools that he believes goes against what he is as an administration. That's not how the president works, buddy. You aren't some dictator who gets to control what everyone believes. Genuinely, he's not allowed to do that, at least unless there's some law that I don't know about. This is blatantly illegal. In other news, Scott Bessent has taken over the IRS. Trump has removed the IRS Commissioner Billy Long and will be replacing him with Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent for the time being. Long has only just been sworn in as commissioner in June, and in a statement said, "It's been an honor to serve my friend President Trump, and I am excited to take on my new role as ambassador to Iceland. I am thrilled to answer his call to service and deeply committed to advancing his bold agenda. Exciting times ahead." I don't understand why this man was hired in the first place if he was just going to be removed. Granted, to be fair, if I had $1 for every time this administration, made no sense at all, I would be richer than Elon Musk. But honestly, what is the point? Why would you hire him for the position if you were just going to remove him not even, 2 months later? That, it seems not only like a waste of time and energy, but it seems stupid. Genuinely, what is the point? What is the point of this? Genuinely. Anyways, moving on into our ICE segment, we have one topic as the owner of Trump Burgers faces deportation. Roland Merhez Biani, owner of Trump Burger in Houston, one of three of the fast food chain, I believe, or whatever, I guess if you want to call it a chain, is facing deportation and arrest after failing to leave the United States on time. ICE confirmed Biani's, a Lebanon national, entered the United States in 2019 on a visitor visa, but failed to leave before February 12th, 2024. He was arrested on May 16th and granted bond on June 13th. Trump Burger is a honestly crazy restaurant to have. I'm sure you guys have all seen the pictures as well. I mean, the glaze that Trump gets is crazy, and it's not even deserved. I mean, Trump supporters love Trump more than LeBron fans love LeBron, and Trump isn't even a champion. Genuinely, it is actually crazy how much support he gets. People open up merch stores. People open up stores like this called Trump Burger. It is crazy that things like this are being opened throughout the country. Genuinely, it is insane. In other news, the Texas Attorney General has filed a suit to remove Democratic lawmakers from office. Texas Dems continue to take a stand against the Department of Justice, restricting... not the Department of Justice, sorry, the GOP. Sorry. Texas Dems continue to take a stand against the GOP, redistricting as Republicans continue to push for it. Despite threats of arrest from Republicans, Democrats still did not appear at the special session on Friday afternoon. Democrats say they plan to stay away until August 19th, the end of the state's special session. Due to this, Ken Paxton is looking to submit lawsuits to remove the Democrats from office, claiming they abandoned the state. He is now officially pushed to do so as they missed the special session. The end of this situation is looming, and I still can't really figure it out. It's honestly a little worrying to me. Sure, we can make guesses. I can make many guesses. I can say, yeah, someone will get arrested. Sure, maybe they won't be removed from office, but they'll receive repercussions. Maybe they will be removed from office. I can make those guesses. But this is one of those situations where I really just, can't make a fair assumption as to what's really going to happen. It's going to be interesting, maybe even scary. But, genuinely, we will just have to wait to see how this plays out. We've had issues with people disappearing from office before, and in some of those cases, they haven't been removed from office. I believe, this was very recently. We had a woman who had disappeared completely, just to be found in an old people home, and I don't believe she was removed from office either. I think that was like around a year or two ago. Um, like things like that happen, and it's crazy. It genuinely is, when they shouldn't be allowed. For one. Uh, Am I rambling now because it's hot? Yes, it is very hot. And I lost my entire track of what I was going on. I need some water. You know what? I think I'm just going to start bringing water with me to record these videos. Granted, like, I leave on Monday, by the way. Quick little schedule update. I forgot to remind you guys. That is just processed in my head. So there will not be a video Saturday. Sunday will be the last video for a while because I will be, rather than taking a plane, I'm going to be driving to Colorado instead. So there will not be a video on Monday, probably not Tuesday, and probably not Wednesday. So you won't get one tomorrow, and you won't get one on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Sorry, I know that's really inconvenient. I'm moving for college. Sorry, guys. As much as I would love to make content for you all, um, gotta drive. Gotta drive. Unfortunately, I'm not taking a plane anymore. But that's your update. Sorry about that. We will be back with your regularly scheduled programming on Thursday. Anyways, let's get back into the news. Moving on into our other news segment today, there are huge fires breaking out in California. A brush fire in Ventura County is rapidly spreading and forcing thousands to evacuate. The Canyon fire started at around 1:30 p.m. and grew over 7.6 miles by 11 p.m. and remains 0% contained, spreading east. The fire is south of Lake Piru and has caused at least 4,200 residents to evacuate so far. The wildfire risk has been elevated this weekend due to hot temperatures as fire season is seemingly on the way. As unfortunate as it is, California is always on fire. It seemingly never ends. Good luck to all of those who may be impacted because, nobody wants their house burned down. That would suck. Hopefully, everyone is able to recover from that. And thank you to all the firefighters who are working to prevent this fire from spreading. Firefighters are cool. They definitely deserve way more praise because they don't really get much, in my opinion, at least, compared to law enforcement, all of that. And firefighters are dope. Moving on into the final segment for today, there has been a shooter at Emory College. Emory College in Atlanta, had a shooting today, which resulted to the injury of an officer. The university alerted students to run, hide, and fight in a social media post at 5:01 p.m. and an hour later lifted the shelter. At 6:43 p.m., Atlanta police said there was no ongoing threats to the Emory campus or the surrounding neighborhoods. The incident involved one shooter who has now passed, and the report came out at a CVS Pharmacy in Emory Point. I hope the injured officer is able to recover from this, as this is truly horrible. Schools are just now opening in the United States, and we're already having shootings. It is insane. Genuinely, it is fucking insane. Gun violence in this country needs to be ended. It is a problem. The fact of the matter is, schools should not be safer, or school streets should not be safer than schools are today. Yet that is the case, and that shouldn't be. Genuinely, it is crazy that is the case, and it needs to change. But with that being said, thank you all so much for watching this episode. I hope you all enjoyed. Hopefully this isn't like really dark and it is just my screen. But if it is, we'll figure something out. I'll try and do something. Maybe it's just the camera being dirty. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it's not. But with that being said, thank you all for watching this video. If you are on YouTube, please subscribe, drop a like, drop a comment down below. Let me know your take on all the news from today. If you're on Substack, please consider subscribing. All funds go to me. They'll help me pay for the things that I'll need to pay for in college, like food and clothing and all those kinds of things. But if not, you can always subscribe for free. I truly do appreciate all forms of support on this content. It means the world to me. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you all in tomorrow's episode. Later.